So during the time that I had to work at my clients, I actually had one day where I was kind of in a rush because I was off work and I had to go do some errands. And in between I thought like, oh, okay, I need to eat something. I'm getting hungry a little bit. And I actually went to a fast food restaurant and got myself a burger and sat down there. And it was actually about 12 o'clock noon. So midday, basically. And there was this dad with his small kid eating there on the inside the restaurant. And clearly they weren't in a rush or anything, and the kid was like 4 or 5. And it seemed to me like, and I'm just reading between the lines, maybe he had an off day and he's taking care of his kid and they went to lunch, or I don't know, he just had the kid for that period of time. And the kid was eating and he was just on his phone. He didn't talk to the kid. The kid tried to kind of get his dad's attention, but he was constantly on the phone. And there is this study, and I'm paraphrasing, please don't quote me. I've read this, and I'm not sure if I'm kind of saying it correctly, but there is this study where it says that kids in those ages, under 10, I believe, at least if they are under 6, I would say that their cognitive capacity isn't kind of understanding, oh, my dad or my parent or that person in front of me is looking at the phone and is doing something. They kind of read it as if, oh, that person is ignoring me. That person isn't looking at me. That person is looking away. And they don't kind of realize what that person is doing, but rather read the situation as, okay, that person is ignoring me. But that's not my point. I'm not a dad. I don't have children, so I'm not here to judge or anything. But I feel like that is a very good example of how dangerous your phone and doom scrolling can be. And I'm always kind of saying in these videos that I'm a huge advocate of kind of trying to kind of focus my attention away from the phone with devices like a camera, for example. Instead of using my phone camera, which is much more capable, I rather use a camera for the physical buttons, but also more importantly for not being kind of steered away by work notifications. I'm a freelancer. I have to be always reachable. I have to take a look at my notifications. Maybe a job is coming in. Maybe a client tries to contact me. So my phone is always in this kind of, okay, here is a notification that might be work relevant. So having a device that doesn't give me notifications is really important to me and helps me a lot to get away from my phone. Or like I always say, retro gaming, Anbernic RG35XX Plus, or my ROG Xbox LA gaming device. I specifically set up those devices. Okay, the retro gaming device isn't connected to the internet, but my ROG Xbox Ally is. I did not put anything work related, no email, nothing. There is maybe a notification of an achievement, but not a work notification. These devices help me so much to kind of steer my attention or focus my attention on those devices and not be distracted by notifications, and more importantly, not be tempted to doom scroll, because to loop it back to the beginning, doom scrolling is, as the name implies, it's doom. It's bad. It's not good, especially if you potentially have something more important to attend to, like your kid. And I feel like I sat there and I thought, oh, this would be, maybe that's not better. I'm not saying that this is like better for the child or for you. But I sat there in the moment and I thought like, oh, if the father, the dad, had a gaming device instead of doom scrolling, maybe there would be the potential to say like, okay, kiddo, sit next to me, let's play some Tetris or some Super Mario. And they could kind of do that together, or even have a Nintendo Switch there. And okay, let's finish up eating, and then you get a controller and I get a controller, let's play a little bit Super Mario Kart. Something like that, you know, where you can kind of more actively involve the kid. And I'm pretty certain that, I don't know, maybe he wasn't doom scrolling on TikTok or Instagram. Maybe he was reading the news. I don't know. Nevertheless, it was something that he couldn't share, or maybe wasn't appropriate with the kid. But the result is the same. He was kind of ignoring the kid, or the kid felt ignored, basically, because the kid wanted to grab his dad's attention, then opted to kind of play with his food, basically, and talk to himself. And I felt that was kind of sad. And again, it brings me back to that our phones grab so much of our attention that we suddenly forget the people around us. And again, I'm not saying that gaming would be a better solution here. It would be probably the best would be just to talk to the kid, right? But I feel like if your urge is to grab something that interests you a little bit more, and where you have the urge to grab a device, I felt like in that moment, oh, okay, if he would have grabbed a retro gaming device, it would be so easy to, okay, kiddo, I'm going to play the Super Mario level, and then I give it to you, and then we play together, right? It would be so much more fun to kind of integrate the kid in that. And I really need to repeat myself here. I'm not a dad. I don't have kids. I don't know how it is. So I'm not here to judge. I just felt really sad for that kid because he seemed to really crave the attention of the dad. And I felt like instead of being on the phone, you could kind of do something with the kid. And I understand sometimes it's probably difficult to talk to a kid for a long period of time, and then you think to yourself, okay, let me grab the phone real quick. But he was sitting there for the whole period of time when I ordered my food, when I got to the table, when I ate, and when I left. He was constantly on his phone, and that was at least 15 to 20 minutes. And I felt really sad for the kid. And again, I'm not saying that this is better. I just feel like if you have the urge to use the device to distract yourself because you run out of topics to talk with a kid, I feel like a gaming device would have been the better opportunity to kind of connect with a kid. Or even something like, I don't know, a Kindle. You could read to the kid. Occupy yourself and read to the kid. I don't know, photography. Take pictures of the kid and then tell your kid, okay, here, kiddo, that's the camera. Take pictures of me, right? Something like that. But I really felt sad that they both were kind of disconnected from each other. Yeah, again, I'm not a dad. I don't have any idea about that. I don't know about it. I just felt like that was it looked sad to me at least. Maybe you have your 2 cents to chime in. I know some of you watching these videos have kids. Maybe you can kind of tell me your opinion or your viewpoint about that. And yeah, maybe check out my video about the ROG Xbox Ally, the review up here, because I think it's a great device. Probably not a device that you would bring to a fast food restaurant, but maybe check it out anyways up here. YouTube thinks you'd like the video down here. And don't forget to subscribe by clicking the button up here. That way we see each other in the next video. Thank you very much.